It all started on a Thursday night. Stormy, cold, and so damn quiet, you could hear your own thoughts echo in your skull. My name's Jason, and I'm just your average guy, 32 years old, part-time Uber driver, full-time nobody, except for that night. That night, I picked up a passenger that turned my life inside out. I had just cleaned my G Wagon, matte black, customized interior, and speakers that could wake the dead. Ironically, that detail would matter more than I could imagine. I got a ping at exactly 11:46 p.m., a weird time to get a ride out in the suburbs. But money's money. The pickup was from a gated estate I'd never noticed before. Even though I'd driven down that road 100 times, the house sat far back behind a wall of trees. No lights, no cars in the driveway. Just an old-fashioned iron gate that creaked open by itself the moment I arrived. My gut twisted, but I told myself it was just nerves. A tall man in a long black coat stepped out from the shadows, face hidden under a wide-brim hat. He didn't speak, just opened the back door and sat down without even asking if I was Jason. "Where to?" I asked, glancing back. No answer. He just handed me an old note that read, "Drive until I say stop. Do not speak. Do not look back." I laughed awkwardly, waiting for the punchline. Nothing. Just silence. The kind that makes your chest tight. Whatever. I needed the money, and honestly, I was curious. So I drove. We passed familiar streets, but then things started getting weird. Every turn I took brought us back to the same intersection. 4 stop signs, 1 street lamp flickering overhead. I turned again. Same spot. I checked the GPS. Dead. No signal. I even tried Apple Maps. Nothing. I peeked into the rearview mirror just for a second, and I swear, the guy's face wasn't human. Not exactly. His skin looked too smooth, like wax, and his eyes, pure white, no pupils, just glowing sockets. My heart dropped into my stomach. I turned the music up to distract myself, but the second I hit play, the car speakers screamed in static, then whispered something in a language I'd never heard before. Deep, guttural, inhuman. I shut it off instantly. The G Wagon's lights started dimming, dashboard flickering, and then the windshield fogged up from the inside. I tried to roll down the window. Nothing worked. The buttons were dead. Suddenly, the man whispered, "Turn left." I did. We entered a road that didn't exist on any map. No houses, no lights, just dense forest closing in on both sides. My headlights barely cut through the mist now swirling around the car. I felt like I was driving underwater. Then my phone vibrated. I checked. A message. No number. Just a single line. "Whatever you do, don't let him speak again." I turned around to confront him, and he was gone. No sound, no door opening, just gone. But his coat still sat on the seat. I pulled over, freaked out, heart hammering in my ears. That's when the G Wagon locked itself, all doors, windows sealed. My breathing fogged up the glass, and outside the forest started to move. Not the trees, the shadows. They shifted like they were alive, crawling closer. I honked the horn, screamed, anything. The car wouldn't respond. I tried the ignition. It sparked, died, then restarted on its own. The steering wheel turned by itself, and the G Wagon started driving, without me touching a thing. Faster and faster, the car careened down the dirt path until it screeched to a halt in front of a tunnel. A tunnel that wasn't there before, carved into the side of a hill, pulsing with dim red light, like it was alive. The display on the dash blinked one word: enter. Against every instinct I had, the car drove in. Inside, the tunnel walls dripped black liquid, and strange symbols lit up along the edges. Symbols that twisted the longer I looked at them, burning into my mind. The deeper we went, the colder it got. I could see my breath, even though the AC was off. Then the voice came again, not from the back seat this time, but from the speakers. "Jason, you brought me here. Now you'll drive forever." The back seat belts lifted into the air and wrapped around the empty seat like invisible arms. The coat floated and slithered into shape, forming the man again. Only this time, his face looked like mine. exactly like mine. He grinned through the mirror and whispered, "Now I'm you." The steering wheel fused with my hands. I tried to let go. Couldn't. My arms were frozen, stuck, glued to the wheel. The engine roared, and the tunnel began to collapse behind us. But I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't even sure if I was alive. I realized what this was. The G Wagon was a trap, a cursed vessel, feeding on lost souls, using their identities to lure the next victim. I was no longer Jason. Jason had died somewhere on that road, or maybe inside that tunnel, or maybe in that first moment I looked in the rear view. Now I was part of it, a whisper in the static, a face in the rear view. And every night at exactly 11:46 p.m., the car returns to that same street, same estate, same gate that opens on its own, waiting for someone like you to pick up the ride. And when you do, don't look back, don't speak, and whatever you do, don't let him speak again, because if you do, you'll find yourself locked in the same nightmare, driving forever through roads that don't exist, past shadows that aren't really shadows, haunted by a version of yourself that should have never existed in the first place. This isn't just a story, it's a warning. Because if you ever see a matte black G Wagon parked near an empty gate past midnight, do not stop. Don't even slow down. Because it doesn't matter if you believe in ghosts or not. Some vehicles don't need gas to move, just fear.